Good evening and welcome everyone to tonight's official coverage of Rainlight Racing's 2024 GT3 Series 7. Tonight you've joined us here, I think, for round 8 at Zandvoort, and if the pre-race practice is anything to go more by, it might be a little bit wet, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, don't you worry. Get comfortable. Grab a cup of tea or a beer or whatever suits you better. I'm Davo. As usual, I have J-Man by my side. How are you doing, my friend, on the comms?
Mate, I'm good. As I say, just to add a little bit of H2O, and it will be spicy tonight. So, yeah, welcome aboard, viewers, to what is, yeah, as Dave mentioned, race round 8, Zandvoort here in Series 7. This is absolutely a ripper racetrack. Probably one of the better ones that we get to call consistently is
Yes.
Zandvoort, and add a little bit of water, as we mentioned, and we're bound to find out who's a wet
It
specialist. I
was.
think we know that Nick Firth's not shy on the rain. We've seen him with a very, very good result previously at Spa.
Yes.
Um,
And also, I think
Hendo is it
Hendo is a
Hendo?
bit of a wet specialist as
Yeah,
well. But
Hendo's a very good wet specialist, absolutely. So yeah, look, it's going to be a night of attrition. I think there's a few spots on this racetrack that are very, very high risk. I think drivers will do well to really just keep their heads for a fair bit of this one, and see what the tyre does, and the weather. Look, it's a mixed bag. I have looked at the forecast, and there is opportunities throughout the night for it to dry up. However, like you mentioned, the lead up to this one has been really wet.
it
So
has been wet, J-Man. Look, but like you mentioned, anything could happen between now and qualifying, and it quite often does, ladies and gentlemen. But look, stay tuned, stay tuned. You've got Davo and J-Man here tonight to call all the action live on the YouTubes with a MATCHFIT Entertainment. We've got to also thank SIMBLACKS coming on board again with the good people here at Rainlight Racing, bringing some awesome prizes from one night to the other, but also look, a fantastic, beautiful set of pedals for the major prize at the end of the season. So get involved if you haven't already. We also got to thank CrossCUT Woodworks, Carpentry and Joinery, Crossy 43, Hendo 31, and of course, True to Life Racing Designs, J-Man. What it is wet? Is qualifying wet? I think the boys are rolling out on track here as we speak. Let's see if we can get some vision up.
yeah, no, they've just obviously the first phase of this half an hour qualifying. We're going to get the pro-ams and the AMs out there. They'll have a red hot go at I guess what will be their first part of the quali. And look, it is pretty consistently raining, due to calm down a little bit inside the next 10 minutes, and then probably the back end of the session is going to back off a little bit more. However, looking at how wet it is out there, Davo, I don't think it's going to make too much difference.
Probably
Um,
not. Probably not. Look, and what have we got here? 90-minute race. Like if it,
we have got a
these
90
guys could potentially have 90 minutes of this as well, not just the half an hour of qualifying. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I believe first car out on track tonight would be, I think it is, yeah, it's the 17 car, Nathan Bewley. So interesting one here too. I was watching the Porsches earlier on. I was watching Bewley and Ichikawa out there in those Porsches, and I wondered whether the drive traction of these couple of Porsches out there
Yep. Yep.
might favour in these conditions.
Worthy point. Yep.
So they do get off the corner pretty well as it is, and just Matty Clark tuning into the stream as he's waiting for his turn out there on track. And yeah, we're scared for you, buddy. But yeah, no, it'd be interesting to see what sort of times they deliver. We see consistently in these categories with the split qualifyings, who's going to step up tonight in this first phase of qualifying out of the pro-ams and the AMs to sit inside what would be the top 10 at the end of the session, even after the pros run. We've seen some pretty special times come out of some of these guys. Goddard is another one that comes to mind. If he can hook that McLaren up, he is very quick at the moment as well. He's got some pace on board. Ichikawa, Bewley, new to us, but really starting to really show us what they're made of with some good results as well.
Definitely.
Good to see Craig McConnell back out there in the Ferrari.
Yeah, so Craig McConnell, car change, is that? Oh no, that's Chris McConnell.
Oh, sorry, that's Chris McConnell.
Chris McConnell in the
did that
Ferrari.
last week.
We did last week. I think apologise, guys. Both with the same initial and surname spelling. So Chris McConnell in the Ferrari, J-Man, and Craig. Oh, is Craig here tonight?
Stewarding.
Stewarding, awesome. Okay, so official duties. That's official duties.
Up your staying dry as well.
Yeah. So nice work. But
so there you go. 43.945, first indicative time that we've seen roll across the line from Nathan Bewley. So pretty good time out there in the wet.
Yeah, so nice work from Bewley.
41s coming out of a wet session earlier from the pros. So 43.9, pretty respectable time.
Definitely Ichikawa out of the final corner as well. Chris across the line in the Ferrari. And there is Ichikawa.
Okay.
Provisional first.
Edward Fickery, he is P2, 43.8, so just behind. So look at those times. 43.7, 43.8, 44.9.
Wow.
And we drop into the 44s. Goddard, McConnell. Still got Jonathan Warren about to post the time. There he goes, 44.5. So he splits Goddard and McConnell. Ken Worcester, now he banks the time. Still waiting on a time as well.
I think it's Perkins. Yep. And just rounding that final bank corner. It's tricky, slippery. As you can see, the Ferrari wriggling around there on the entry. Working hard for it. Provisional 7th at the moment. So first phase of qualifying here, first 15 minutes. J-Man did mention the rain might ease. Well, oh God, even if it does, will it make much difference when the pro and pro-am boys, the pro guys, should I say, get out here? Because what have we got out here at the moment is the pro-am and the am boys at the moment.
Yeah, and I think probably more to the point, it'll be more about, if the session carried on, the potential for standing water on some of these racetracks is a factor.
For sure.
As opposed to maybe, some of the corners, the lateral grip might be the same, but it's sometimes those standing puddles or the rivers that run across the track, like we've seen out of Arouge and Radillon at Spa, that can catch people out. I don't know that there's too many really, really big damp static spots here, but I think looking at it,
I think there's a couple of spots, but probably not as brutal, the result when you get into them like there is at Arouge or Alpado Radillon, I think they pronounce it, J-Man.
Yep.
Yeah, so, the speeds and the loads are just quite so high. But all the same, Zandvoort, technical at its best, isn't it, in good conditions? So a wet Zandvoort just ups that about times by 10. But look, you and I, J-Man, look, both Zandvoort fans, admittedly, but to call it in the rain is next level, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and just had a bit of an update there from Matty Clark. He said the only really major spot for standing water and aquaplaning is the S's after turn 4, so that would be that roller coaster.
Down to, before that big, parabolica, that big right-hand back corner there, and they do pick up some momentum down through that roller coaster there.
Yep. So interesting to see, as we mentioned, Bewley in there on a 42.615, so that Porsche really working, and then Ichikawa sitting in there in provisional 3rd, and He's coming around the final corner now, and he's got a half a second up his sleeve as
Yep.
well. So that's going to see him move onto the front row. Not enough, I don't think, to get Burley. No,
Nah.
there you go, 42.7. So by the smallest of margins, but those two Porsches moving to the front, backed by a pair of McLarens, and then backed by a trio of Ferraris. So that is Warren, McConnell, and Perkins.
Yeah, that's right, J-Man. Thackeray actually just rounding across the start finish line. No gain, but well up on his delta already.
Yep.
In the early phase of this lap. Perkins looking healthy, or a second odd, which would put him
A lot of understeer through the left-hander.
For Thackeray.
For Perkins, mate, the 33 car.
Perkins, should I say?
Just put him going through the final chicane, and just a heap of left-hand lock on the thing, and it didn't want to respond at all. Even coming out the final turn, a lot of right-hand down, and it just wasn't really responding. So just suffering a bit of front grip in the Ferrari. 44.3.
Yeah, so better's the time, but doesn't gain a position there, J-Man.
Bewley just for a little bit of a slight improvement, half a tenth coming, 42.550. Ichikawa has got a tenth and a quarter, tenth and a half. Where is he? He is.
Oh, he's going to need every little bit of that. He's coming in.
Sector 3.
He's coming towards sector 3 here, or in it.
He just dumped a heap of it.
He did. I think it's just out of that little bus stop there, that little chicane.
Yep.
Easily done. Definitely dropped a load off that time, J-Man. Running across the line for another one. Goddard. Looking healthy.
Yeah, same with Thackeray as well, and he's about to cross the line. This will be a big improvement. 42.740 goes front row.
Gets Ichikawa.
Yep. And Goddard as well on the improve as well, so he's going to drop into the 42s as well.
So Thackeray, awesome work from him.
Yeah, Edward on the money with that lap. He needs to press on with it. These guys have still got 5 odd minutes to go. Probably best bet to stay out there, keep those wet tyres nice and hot, keep them cycling up, and just it'll be all about, I guess, accuracy from the driver at this point, as long as the pressures are correct. Easy to make a mistake in these conditions, Davo.
Yeah, it is. It's all about just staying focused, isn't it? And like I said, while you got a good temperature and quite possibly, pressured tyre, then just keep it up and stay focused, isn't it?
Yeah, just look for those little micro sectors, the brake marks. And this is a good lap coming from Bewley. This is a very, very good lap.
Yeah, well up.
42.1.
Yeah, nice work. Ichikawa is responding to Thackeray's
Yep.
time as well. And looks like at this stage of his lap could quite possibly sneak
He'll
that
go
back.
front row. Yep.
But nothing like the Bewley lap there, J-Man.
No. I see Lee Perkins in the pit lane. Has he got enough time to come out and have another one? Yeah, he does. He'd want to get on with it, or maybe that's the best that he feels that Ferrari's got to offer in these conditions.
So Ichikawa.
Was that must have been an unclassified lap? Yes, it was.
It was. Unfortunate.
Yep.
Only a few minutes to go. A lap or so. For some, J-Man, in this first phase of qualifying here. 15 minutes.
Now, what can McConnell do here? 44.0. He's got around about 3.5 to 4 tenths up his sleeve. And so that would see him potentially, knock out Goddard for P4. So he could go from P6 to P4 here if he carries on with this lap. He's now nearly 6 tenths. Just had a little bit of wag of the tail of the penultimate corner. Did the 49 car. Can he back this up 5.5 tenths? This will be good enough.
J-Man, I think he needs a bit more than that. He's got Warren. Puts him into 5th provisionally in the 49 Ferrari there. Nice work from McConnell.
Yeah, just watching the clock, Davo. just to see where Ichikawa is now. He is coming through the final 2 corners.
Off his lap though.
Yeah, he's off the lap, but he's got time at hand to get one more in. So if he can get this one right, he really needs to try and stay in touch with Bewley, because, oh, who was that hard in the fence there? That was, okay, that was Jonathan Warren on the final corner. It just got that a little bit wrong. And
so clearly pushing hard, J-Man. You know, these guys are not mucking around. This is the the Pro-Am and the Am boys in the first phase of qualifying here. Really going hard, as we normally see, don't we, with this this early phase of qualifying, J-Man. And quite often, well, at least in dry conditions, we see these boys punch well above their weight, holding down some good top 10 positions. Goddard
42.5. What happened there? So Thackeray, okay, so he got Thackeray down, yeah, 42.5, 42.740. So he got that spot legit, and it looked like he went back, and he's trying to come back. Has he got enough time for one more? 16?
Well, he's on a red lap, J-Man.
No, he's just gone back to pits and come back out. I don't know that he's going to have enough time. We're talking.
Oh, that's too tight. Yeah, mate. Where is he on this lap?
He's just at the start of the lap. Where is he? 96. He's halfway through. It's going to be tight. He's only got just under a minute to get round.
Well, look, it just shows the confidence, doesn't it, of Goddard to have a crack here, as we still got cameras on Ichikawa, and he is good, healthy, couple of tenths up on his time, which will easily let him get Thackeray.
And he's going to get this lap. Oh, was that a track cut? Because that was well off. Yes,
it was. Oh, no.
More importantly, 30
does he get across? He does get across. Has he got the tyre left in?
Is Goddard going to get across?
Yeah, he rolls into the pits.
Okay, so we are going to see our pros run out. However, more importantly, the guy to watch is Isaac Ichikawa, because he is out there. He has got
a good, healthy 310
front row of the Pro-Ams there as well. So looking at that, Perkins, he's just finishing his lap. He's down. Okay, so he was down anyway. 43.757. So very, very good qualifying session from the Pro-Ams and the Ams. However, it is now all about the fast boys are out there, and I'm just trying to get a read on who was first out, and it would be none other than Lucas Keys. So no surprises there, shadowed by Gunther Rowe. Good evening, Warren. Good to have you on board, mate. Always appreciate your support, and looking forward to a good wet race here. A little bit of reduction in the rain in the last 5 minutes too, Davo. Just a notable mention. Doesn't look like much on screen, but it has reduced a bit.
Yeah, definitely. And it was forecast there, as you can see on a little widget in the top right-hand side of the corner there, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already noticed it. Yeah, look, it can still be a bit random, can't it, mate? And, yeah, so we take it as a guide more than anything, because anything could happen, really.
Yeah, so I'm really interested too, once this all shakes out. Obviously, the track's probably... well, the weather's slightly improving, if we can say that, to what that does. But I feel like a 42.1's still a very, very good lap. And it'll be interesting to see. We had 8 runners there in the Pro-Am and the Am class. A little bit down on numbers for those 2 categories there. And we have got, I guess, one more running than that. We have got, I believe we've got 10 runners in the Pro class out there at the moment. As I mentioned, Lucas Keys, first car out there that's going to give us a banker lap, and we'll get a real good idea about how much pace these pros have got in these conditions.
Yes, and it won't be long now, J-Man. Cameras on Frodo. We've seen Hendo out there as well, another one to watch. Gunther Rowe. Firthy. Lucas Keys, like I said, first car on track at the moment.
40.9, there you go. That was probably more what I was looking for, what they'd been doing in official practice. So 40.9, quickly backed up Maverick with a 41.152. time still rolling through. Maverick. Oh, sorry, Lucas Keys up already on his lap. Faraday pops it into P3, the 42.0. You see Hendo come across the line as well. Where did that land him?
Oh, Hendo in 13th, actually. Firthy pipping Hendo.
Yeah, and Dawson as well.
And Dawson as well. Where is Crossland there in that little list? J-Man.
Yeah, so he's still cycling up on the
Oh,
lap.
okay, there you go.
Maybe a little late to the party there.
Yeah, in the... obviously, in the number 43, SIMBLACKS McLaren here tonight. Very eventful race last week. As much as these guys love an eventful race, I'm sure, you know, just finding a little bit of space on track and chilling would be nice, particularly in conditions like tonight. Nick Firth looking with a very healthy Delta.
Yeah, he has.
Provisional 12th at the moment. Bewley,
Yeah,
Thackeray and Ichikawa still holding down top 10 positions.
Firth going to go deep into the 41s here. So Faraday with another healthy Delta as well. He comes out of the final corner in that Mustang. At 6.5, nearly 7/10 of a second. Sees him go into P3 provisionally over Brandon Webley
Nice,
with a 41.372 over a 1.375.
Well, they're close. That is close stuff there.
Dawson, big improvement, 41.8. Firth, big improvement, 41.6. So starting to shake purely Thackeray, Ichikawa and co. Back down the list a little bit. These guys out there banking some good times. 9 minutes of the session left. Rain increasing inside 30 minutes. However, that won't be a problem for these guys. And Maverick has got a big Delta coming. Where is he on the lap? Okay, so he is effectively Sector 2.
Yeah, Sector 2. Early stages of Sector 2 here. In the Nissan again tonight, J-Man. And, yeah, really showing some good form on the chase for the Lucas Keys, Datsun as well. So, who is that? That is actually the True to Life Racing Designs, or the Gorilla Racing, actually.
Yeah, that's
Mustang of Gunther Rowe there. So, Webley just out of the hairpin there.
Oh, he's getting towards 7/10 as Maverick. This is a good split. 140.547. So the market's just been shifted again. What does Maverick do? He goes to the top on a 40.4. Throws down the challenge. Lucas Keys straight back to the pits. Probably wants some new rubber. It's got enough time to do it too. Who else we got on the move? We have got Faraday, 41.240. It's a good lap. Webley's got a couple of tenths up his sleeve. He's just coming around the bottom.
And just looking at the body language of some of these Mustang drivers, J-Man, as we get
Webley.
Cameras on Webley there. Look, these guys really clearly having to throw these cars around a lot to get them in the position they want them to be. Is that just qualifying laps, Jamie? Are they going to race it like that all night?
Yeah.
It looks hectic.
I'm not sure what happened to Faraday there, but he was off in the infield. I just picked up on the Steve Croston car because Croston in there at the moment on a 42.0 P8. He's looking for more out of that McLaren. And she's kind of a little bit static at the top. Maverick over Keys, Faraday and Webley in the pit lane at the moment.
Well, conditions not ideal, are they?
No, but they're probably at the best they're going to see in this session. So, you know, there's not, you know, the rain's falling, but it's I don't believe it's as hard as it was at the start of the session. So
best to get a wriggle along.
Feel like, yeah, so Faraday and Webley all back out of the pits. We did see Lucas Keys go and grab another set of tyres. So he's on an outlap at the moment. 6.5 minutes left to go as he heads round the back, heading towards Sector 3. movers and shakers. Tony Spence, he's on a lap. He's got around 2.5 to 3 tenths as he starts his way up the hill, comes out of turn 4, comes down through this tricky 5, 6, 7 section, building speed as they climb up over the hill. Car gets unweighted. Then they've got to come down, tip off the accelerator, get into the brake just a little bit, settle the nose and tip it through these fast right-handers all the way coming down the hill here, followed by some more right-handers, and then they've got to scrub off all the speed for what will be the final section of that track and really arrest the car as they head down the bottom. And that's the spot where I think halfway through there's a fair bit of standing water, and the car's pretty nervous down through there. So he's doing a good job at the moment. It's got about 4.5 to 5 tenths of a second, and that will put him amongst some very, very good company. And I think Crosson and Firth, Dawson. Now, on that note, the 43 car Crosson, we said that he needed some more, and he did go more. P5.
Yeah. I think he's pipped at least 3 positions there. Firth, Dawson, and Clark. So now just watching Spence here rounding out these final couple of corners here.
This is a good lap from Spence here, mate. I
think it's red though, Jamie. Is it red? No,
he'd been
it's an outlap. It's an outlap there. Oh, wow.
41.3 to go P4. Now, he is amongst some serious company. I mentioned that he might have been with Crosson, Firth and Dawson. He goes one better than Webley.
He goes another row. He goes another row up, doesn't he?
He does. Now, Webley's on a fresh set of tyres as well, remembering that we just said he went back to pits. Now, he is 1.5 to 2 tenths up. Just bled a little bit through there. Just might have been a little bit offline. However, he is building into the lap. Now, Lucas Keys is the one that's responding.
Yeah, responding to...
massively.
And what a stellar lap from Mav in this
a 39. A 39 on the card there. High 39.
And he backs it up. Corner. He's all of the road. Keys.
40.0.
So close, J-Man.
So it's not done. 3 3/4 minutes left to go, and I'm just seeing a heap of green on the Deltas. Not a lot by some of them, but Webley here, he's got just over a tenth or around the 10th of a second. That would be enough for him to go P4 if he can string it. Oh, really sideways.
Here we go. Watch this.
Off the final corner, but it's enough to go P3.
P3.
Welcome aboard, Isaac. Great laps earlier, mate. Trading up there with Bewley, Thackeray, and yourself there doing a great job. Should be a fantastic race, mate. Cheers for tuning in between your quali and the start of this race. Keys again, Davo, up another 1.5 to 2 tenths. So he's looking for that 39. Searching.
Look, he knows he's got it. He knows the car's got it. And for whatever reason, just didn't make it stick that last lap. Good, clean lap so far. Our Deltas are screaming at us. He looks like he's got a healthy 2 tenths up his sleeve, or just there or thereabouts.
Yeah, another guy that I can see on the move too, if he can string this final sector together, would be the Nathan Henderson, the MATCHFIT car. If he can back this up, he's got 3.5 to 4 tenths of a second.
Yeah, and Firthy up a position or two there, I think, as well. J-Man.
Yep.
Lucas Keys with a 39.835. Wow.
Very, very good lap.
We can see it coming. HENDO.
So here comes the big Bentley. The Boatley should be good in these conditions. Drop back to 2 and a bit tenths. Moves up just ahead of Nick Firth.
Sneaks up a couple.
Now Firthy, importantly, I just saw him exit the pits with 1 minute and 51 seconds to go. Remembering that it's about low 40s.
Oh, yeah, low 40s.
41s.
Yep.
Yeah, 41s. He need to do a very, very impressive outlap to get this thing. He will cross the line with only the smallest amount of seconds left to go to get another one in. But it is important because he has just been picked by HENDO.
And it is doable. I mean, that's the thing. And that's why these guys having a bit of a crack. J-Man. Track position here on a wet Zandvoort will be crucial.
It will be. So, and the other thing as well to consider, so Maverick's going to get another lap in here. He's got a couple of tenths up his sleeve, which is going to put him on the cuff of a 40.0 if he can string it out these last two corners. And then if he can grab the toe of
Go, Mav.
Dawson,
So Mav.
40.047.
Nice work.
He needs a couple of tenths. Has he got any more? Webley's parked it. His day's done as far as qualifying is concerned. Nathan Henderson is building into this lap.
Yeah.
3.5 to 4 tenths.
As is Clark.
What will that do? What will that do? That will put him down and okay, maybe Dawson, maybe threaten Dawson, potentially Fotado.
Yeah, well, look, he's got to respond, because if Clark's got anything to do with it, he's going to pip Hendo. So here we go, Hendo across the line, up position.
Up on Dawson.
So that's it for Henderson. Mav still out on track, like you mentioned, J-Man.
Yeah, as you mentioned as well, Davo, Matty Clark is on a good lap, and he needs to be, because Crossland's on the improve as well. Gunther Rowe is on the improve as well. There's only a tenth and a half between those three drivers. Bit of bragging rights as Fotado.
Oh, yeah.
Crosses the line for the last time, 140.7.
And even Firth is probably vulnerable there to Crossland and Clark as well, J-Man. So
Yeah,
he'll be watching that closely.
He's, where is he? He's
Yeah.
midway through the lap.
Oh, Firthy's still out there, actually, yeah.
Yeah, he was the guy that just got across the line by the smallest of margins.
Skin
He's
of
going
his
to make
teeth,
it count. Yeah, he's going to make it count with a new set of tyres.
So Clark across, that is his time done and dusted. Firthy with a little bit more up his sleeve. Crossland and Gunther Rowe still trading.
Lucas Keys on the improve as well. Where is
It's
he?
still working. He's still going at it.
Yeah, Mavericks parked it with a 40.047. Nick Firth, I think this is a pretty good call from Firth to come back late. He must have calculated the time that was available, and he's got around 3.5, heading towards 4 tenths. Okay, he's just dropped back a bit through the penultimate corner.
Oh, yeah, but not much, J-Man. Just got the momentum here.
Yeah, building towards 2.5 tenths.
A couple of tenths there. This could get him a couple of positions here. It has. It's got Dawson and Henderson. Wow.
This super tight margins, other than the 39.767. So Lucas Keys did improve at the back end. Took it from a 39.835 to a 39.767. Then we go to Maverick, 40.0. Then look at these times: 40.7, 40.99. 41.2, 41.2, 41.3, 41.4, and then 41.6, and then that is the 10. But even outside the 10, it's still a 41.7. We don't drop back to the 41s till we get to that very, very good lap of Nathan Bewley, P12. So that's the first of the Pro-Am. So super, super tight session. Very, very well constructed too. Like out of all of that, half an hour's worth of absolutely banging these things around a very wet Zandvoort. I didn't see too much mischief go on, mate. I didn't really, other than maybe, I think I saw Jonathan Warren maybe tag the wall on the final corner. Saw a fair bit of understeer, a little bit of oversteer, but nothing major. So I think this could bode well for the race.
Fingers crossed, J-Man. Fingers crossed. This will move forward reasonably quickly here. We'll be interested to see how the weather pans out as the next session rolls out, J-Man. But yeah, as usual, cracking qualifying right to the end. These guys really push each other and just looking for the slightest of edge. And yeah, look at that. Those fine margins getting across the line for that that last and final lap too. Yeah, just to try and pip their competitor. So, yeah, some tight stuff, as we're grown to expect, haven't we, mate?
Absolutely, yeah. So, look, we've just gotten a visual now. We've got a lot of rain to start this race. And then we do look like we're going to reduce the rain in 10 and then a little bit more reduction in half an hour. So, Warren Baker's asked a question, Davo, through the live chat. What are the keys in this race? Now, for me personally, sitting up here, and always speculating, obviously, is one would want to be running, I think, a tyre that potentially may be a little bit lower on the pressure at the start of this one. And then hopefully as the track gets a little bit better, you maybe build a little bit of pressure and run a long strategy just to see what this weather's doing, because the option of pit stopping here and getting on the correct tyre will be absolutely critical for the back end of this 90-minute race, given that, look, we've only been given the first graphic on what would be the first 30 minutes on the forecast, and I'm saying that, look, I'd want to give myself plenty of room in the strategy, and the option around running a slightly lower pressure would be that if it does start drying out, you want some room for these things to build a bit of pressure. That's my call. I don't know what yours is, Davo. I'm not sure what yours is, Warren. What's your call?
I'm going with J-Man on that one.
Anywho, we have got just over 3.5 minutes before these guys drop off the jacks to do their formation, so I'm not sure if we want to take a quick break, pay some bills, or literally just sit in here. It's not uncomfortable silence, Davo, sitting next to you. There's peanuts, there's beer.
There is peanuts and there's beer. Oh, I don't know about eating the peanuts. They've been there for a while. But look, we definitely looking forward to it for what is round 8 here in Rainlight Racing's 2024 GT3 Series 7 here at Zandvoort tonight. Very pissy rain night, which we love. We love the Zandvoort in the rain. We love Zandvoort anytime, J-Man, but Zandvoort in the rain just brings out a next level of racing. So, yeah, very much looking forward to this. Stay tuned at the end of the race as well. Hook up. The links are in the description. Hook up on Crossy's Twitch channel. The boys giving away a $50 gift card at the end of the night. If you want to watch that, what's going on down there, just click the description, get over there. We're gonna thank again the good people at SIMBLACKS and CrossCUT Woodworks, Carpentry and Joinery. Actually, those boys, legends as always, back on board again with Rainlight Racing here. Don't see Dickie out there tonight, Dixie, in the Aston J-Man, but we will thank as well Crossy 43, who is out there in the SIMBLACKS, number 43 McLaren, HENDO 43 in the MATCHFIT Entertainment. Actually, all these sponsors, guys, all these sponsors, the MATCHFIT Entertainment Bentley, and of course we've got Gunther Rowe out there in the Gorilla Racing. The Gorilla Racing, ladies and gentlemen, true to life racing designs Mustang. So plenty going on. Like I said, $50 giveaway, $50 giveaway at the end of the night, and the good people at SIMBLACKS giving away an awesome set of pedals. As you can see there, Sim Magic P1000s at the end of the season. Spin of the wheel. Don't have to be the fastest guy on track. They're just giving this shit away randomly. What a better reason than to get involved. But freebies. J-Man, about a minute to go here if he hasn't already run away from me.
Back in a second, I do want to grab replenishments as they cycle up. Yep.
So round out 8 here at Zandvoort, 90 minutes, compulsory pit stops for, I think it is tyres, may not equate with the rain, of course, because tyres won't be an issue. And then around 9 next week and at Laguna Seca for 60 minutes. And then around 10, the finale at Watkins Glen for 2 hours. And won't that be epic? Watkins Glen for 2 hours. Always. 10 seconds. My man is saying...
Yeah, we're getting close.
Donuts. So, ladies and gentlemen, they are leaving their pit lane now. Just get a load of the shenanigans that goes on in the background here with online racing. We see Mav in the replay there. Just getting a little bit of temp into the rear tyres and the Datsun. J-Man, pre-formation lap.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a question. I don't know how long he's going to stay on those for. But,
Too true, too true.
yeah, I think, you know, Lucas will look to try and utilise this front row start to try and check out, get down to turn one pretty sharply if unchallenged by Mav. I think, you know, he'll do Lucas things. He's got this ability to just really just a couple of tenths each lap stretch out, barring any mistakes. But we don't see Lucas make too many, and then see what Maverick can do with the likes of Shane Fodderdo and Webley. So a couple of Mustangs in there. So a pair of Nissans on the front row, a pair of Mustangs on the second row. Then we mix it up a little bit with Spence in the McLaren, Firthy in the Ferrari. And then we do have Hendo and Dawson. So a couple of Bentleys.
Another pair at the back,
Yeah, and then Matty Clark and that lone BMW P9 and Crossy, who was trading right to the bitter end of that qualifying with Gunther Rowe. For 10th and 11th, so it'll be a good battle going on there as well.
For sure, for sure. A little bit of a short field tonight.
And Ken Worcester not making it off the jack, so he will be looking for a potential pit lane start.
Oh, okay, interesting. Always a challenge, J-Man. Well, for some anyway, as the boys start to form up here.
It's a very early formation, eh? They've still got a good couple of corners to go.
It is a very, very early formation, actually, J-Man. A couple of corners, sorta, kinda. It's just like one big corner, but it is a bloody long one. So they have got into it a little bit early.
I like the option here from the 585 car on the inside of row 2 for a potential move. Down the inside of what potentially could be Maverick, I think, Dave. I'll leave the start procedure up to you.
Yeah, Mav on the outside. So we do have Lucas Keys, Mav, Fodderdo, Webley, Spence, Firth, Hendo, Dawson, Clark, and Crossland rounding out the top 10. Going into T1 here at Zandvoort. Round 8.
Oh, the Mustangs, a little bit of hip and shoulder from those two. Fodderdo gets the better of that. That's going to allow Spence to edge up on the outside.
Spence is in there immediately.
Puts him on the inside for turn 3.
And just watching the Bentley as well of Hendo.
Oh.
Sneaking past. I think that was Bakary or something there in the background.
He threw the spray. Yeah, so that's Firth going backwards. He's gone a long way
it might have
back.
been Firth. It was Firth going backwards there. So just faked onto the outside. No contact from Hendo.
So if anything, Spence was the guy with a great start out of that as well. So he managed to grab Webley.
Yep. Crossland tight in behind Rowe. Good buddies, these guys. In the background, Fackery Bewley. Tight.
Very tight.
No love loss. Chris McConnell well back, J-Man. Bewley well back from where he would expect to be.
Yeah, Firthy back as well. So Firthy's back some 9 positions off the start of this race.
So travelling start for a few guys. Lap 1 here. Green Light Racing 2024 GT3 Series 7. Round 8 Zandvoort. Lap 1. And it's on already. Webley. Thinking, I want that position back. Tony Spence. He's coming for him. Let's get out of the front of Webley's car. What can he see? Not much.
No, not a great deal. So lap 1, Maverick going with Lucas Keys at the moment. A little bit of a gap to Faraday. Faraday did a great job defending into
McConnell.
2-3, yeah, which was Webley and Spence. Webley lost out on that battle. However, he's going back to work on Spence. Now that is Matty Clark going backwards a little bit. Is it? No, he's putting an attack on Gunther
no,
Road.
it's on, it's on, it's on.
He clears the
he
nose
gets it
as
done.
they come out of turn 4.
Gunther looking agitated.
Yeah, high risk place. Part of the racetrack this one.
Big sideways from Clark over the crest. Oh, and Crossy deep in the McLaren just shows you the bloody turn in on the McLarens, J-Man.
Yeah, somebody get on the comms and tell these boys it's 90 minutes because they're into it already.
It's lap 2.
Yeah,
These guys are at it.
Yeah, what's the call? Elvis, I called for maybe potentially running the tyres deep as you can go. Who was that got a stop go? That is Chris McConnell.
Oh,
and he's
no.
just cleared that. So that must have been, okay.
Oh,
so
there's contact between Crossland and
we've got a 3-car pile up. Multiple cars stationary there. It's not lap 1, so surely we're allowed a replay on that one, David, just to see what unfolded there.
Yep,
I think it was across the tap on Gunther.
It's messy. Looks like, who else got tangled up in that fuckery as well? I think it was J-Man, so messy. Usual places here.
Yeah.
At Zandvoort, like you see the contact between these cars in these corners in the dry, but tonight trying conditions, very wet, very slippery.
Check out the battle at the front, both trading a couple of 41.9s for the first flying lap as Lucas Keys and Maverick's only 3 to 4 tenths. So Mav's going with, he looks comfortable. So putting a lot of pressure on Lucas Keys. We don't get to see this a lot. Normally the front runner, whoever it may be, will in this series at the moment, it's been Lucas Keys managing to get out, but Mav in the same equipment is up for the challenge tonight. He is really starting to put some heat on him. Just staying with him. Looks good. Looks a little bit shallower on the exit of the turn. So maybe
entry and exit, I think I sort of picked up there, J-Man. I just wonder whether he's using more of that tyre in the process. But, yeah, look, like you mentioned, Mav definitely coming within the same equipment. And, yeah, no surprise.
And Webley also Spence. Shane Faraday is the guy that's probably in the sweet spot at the moment. P3 got enough distance back from Maverick to not get too much spray, and got enough distance back to Tony Spence to not be under threat. So, however, no such luck for Spence, Webley, and Hendo as well. So Hendo with a good start to this race, and then Firth on the recovery mode, starting to claw back. Him and Goddard starting to head back towards Ichikawa. So Bewley, Ichikawa, Goddard, that's changed by I think 1 position. However, they are status quo pretty much. Oh no, they're up a couple of spots at the expense of Crossland, McConnell, and I think Rowe as well. So
yeah, so look, field spread somewhat pretty quickly here tonight, J-Man. No surprise, like we mentioned, trying conditions. We can clearly see it. Webley starting to put pressure on Spence now as we speak. But, yeah, look, these battles will to and fro, won't they, J-Man, with these sort of conditions?
Yeah, and look, 10 minutes, basically the rain forecast to absolutely stop. Unfortunately for Chris McConnell, he's been forced into a strategy based on the stop-go that he has now completed his pit stop, and he is back out there on a wet tyre. So I see the forecasters calling for a little bit more rain in 30, so he's going to have to nurse those tyres through a stretch of this race, which potentially wouldn't be ideal. So it'll be all about these guys nursing the tyres through what will be potentially the driest part of this race.
A bit of a dry patch, yeah.
Lucas Keys sideways down through the bottom of the hill, very, very close to dropping the left rear on the second to last corner out into the dirty stuff, and that's allowed Maverick to be well and truly up under the wing. drops out of the spray, shows him the nose down to 1. So that is super, super tight stuff down there. Maverick right on him. Also, Webley was very, very close to Spencer to 1. However, just kind of missed the apex a little bit, gives Spencer a little bit of reprieve as well too, Davo. So a lot of close stuff heading down to 1, but sort of shakes itself out on the way out. Still fully engaged in this battle with Mav and Lucas, because I feel like that's on a razor's edge at the moment.
Oh, look, this will be exciting for as long as it actually runs for us. We just see Mav super sideways. We're looking over the rear wing of Lucas Keys. That's in there. And you can clearly see the body language from Mav's car. But yeah, look, for as long as this runs for, we will be keeping an eye on it, J-Man, because this is a bloody battle royale, isn't it, between these two guys? And one worthy of the watch. Out of the front of Mav now, and we just see Lucas very deep into the chicane. Manages to pull that thing up once again. Firthy on Goddard as well. J-Man has heated up.
Hunting. Yeah, so he's on recovery mode as Firthy. I believe 4th on the championship at the moment. About 170 points back from Shane Fodorno in 3rd. Fodorno doing a beautiful job at the moment. 4.2 seconds off of the back of Maverick. Now Maverick once again shows the nose to Lucas Keys down to 1. Still not close enough, but he's making him think about it. And he's got to keep doing that. Just keep making him think about his car positioning into 1. How close can he get?
Yeah, and it's probably just there's not there's some thoughts that don't normally have to go through Lucas Key's head, and that is covering his line as we see Goddard wide. Keeps it out of the stand. Oh, but gives it away. Nice work from Firthy there. Good pressure.
Pass in the background as well. Who is that? That would be.
That's Goddard Firth.
No, I think.
Oh no, we got Gunther Rowe. We got Gunther Rowe and Warren as well. Oh, Oh no, Warren actually changing places.
Okay, it was. Sorry. Yeah, got you there. Jonathan Warren.
Ichikawa also. Not too far behind those, that little group there. So there's a couple of pairings right there. A little bit of a gap between them. Frackeries in recovery mode. Flames spitting from the back of the McLaren. Ichikawa heating the front of the Porsche off said flames. Oh, as they come through. Very awkward couple of corners these, aren't they, J-Man?
Yeah, they're tricky, very tricky, and I mean following another car as well, just to add to it.
So a little bit off cam. Awkward apex. So just range up on the back. Is that Warren? That is Warren.
Okay, so that forecast changing again, saying for increased rain in 10 minutes, so might not make the play from Chris McConnell so bad, as Ichikawa does manage to get that done on Thackeray. Now he's right on the back of Warren. Warren incredibly wide down through the bowl.
Warren not looking comfortable at all, J-Man, in the Ferrari here.
Watch for the Porsche under brakes down here.
I think he's easily going to do it. I don't think Warren's got anything for him. But brakes, man, big time.
Yeah, it's an interesting corner turn one here. There's so much camber down low on when you're tight on the inside. If you're even in the middle of the racetrack, it's very hard to get that car back down in there. And that was enough for Ichikawa, Isaac, to easily get back down there and get that pass done. Maverick now hunting, just going back to that battle there. It's just a couple of opposing lines as they get down the bottom of the hill.
And you can see the spray. The spray's already reduced, hasn't it? So looks like the track conditions got a little bit easier. Oh, so close.
Yeah, well, look, both of them. So Lucas Key's fastest lap of the race was his last lap. I don't know if it was classified, but it was a 40.8. I'll give you a heads up on that. No, fastest lap of the race is owned by Maverick on a 40.7. So that is well and truly you know, quality pace for a big portion of the field. Well, you know, like probably third, fourth. I
Well,
think Shane
everybody
Faraday was
but
close
these
to that.
two. Webley on Spence, J-Man. That is Hendo tucked right in behind. I think, is that Pete Dawson?
Yeah, it's Dawson as well, and the other
He's
Ben.
not too far behind. In the very nonchalant
Purely put the
white
inside
and the
line.
black car.
Purely had the inside line to turn one. We're starting to put a bit of pressure on Matty Clark there. So it is a Pro-Am on a Pro. We do have a recovering Pro in the background of Nick Firth and P10. So he's recovered back nicely after that incident earlier. However, whereas Rose actually recovered after that incident, not too bad as well. Maverick now close again, very, very close. So Maverick's strong suit, I believe, is all the way coming down the hill. Gets the car really up close and personal.
Yeah, very tidy stuff from Mav, as we would expect. Running the same equipment as Lucas Keys again for the second week, as that is Webley off track.
And he's vulnerable here to Hendo. Hendo does get it down there, so that's what a mistake can make.
Misses his brake marker, swerves to miss Spence. Even with the massive cut on the corner, he still needs to recover that car out of the sand, and loses a position to Hendo as well, like you mentioned, J-Man. So, not that simple. And the likes of Webley working very hard for their money here. J-Man, look, we've got a couple of close battles going on here, haven't we, with Dawson, Webley, Henderson, Spence, Maverick, and Keys, of course, in the front. Look at Webley on the rear wing of the MATCHFIT Bentley there.
Yeah, absolutely. He's right there. And we've come back to the section of racetrack where Maverick's super strong. And once again, he's the rear bumper of Lucas Keys, and he's looking for an inside line. And here it goes. They tangle.
Oh, there's contact.
Where is Shane Faraday? The time will be dropping. Maverick readdresses that one. I tell you what, he was up there. But whether he was under control when he got up there is debatable. That'll be one for, I guess, the stewards. I'd love to, if nothing comes of that, I'd love to have Craig McConnell's input on what they thought of that incident there. It's not something we'd normally reach for, or whether we're allowed to reach for, but that's an interesting one, and I'm sure the viewers would love someone else's view on that. But it looked like a move that was certainly on. However, it resulted in contact, so we'll leave it to the good people that make those decisions. But you sit there and wonder.
We do, J-Man, as
Hendo,
the race continues.
Hendo very wide.
A little bit loose out of that. Allows Webley to range on the back of the Bentley.
It's a dangerous line when the cars enter from so wide into turn one, because if they leave themselves vulnerable, not get down inside that camber, that gives an opportunity for the car behind them. You saw that with the entry of Spence, but then it actually was it was actually Hendo that actually ended up a little bit wide of the mark, and it gave incentive for Webley to have a good look.
Yeah, that speed difference is critical, isn't it, J-Man? And one to be wary of, and we've seen it throughout the season with the different makes or marks of car here. But again tonight.
Replay flashing on screen. Yeah, okay, thank you, Mr. Tom Maloney. We'll see if we can ditch that one. We've had that happen before, little gremlin. A Gunther Rowe. Gunther Rowe down a spot. What was that? It was the expense of Steve Crossland. So Rowe back. What was the lap time? 42.6. Last lap round. So something must have happened there. Cheers for the heads up, Tom. Sure what happened there, but Gunther Rowe and Steve Crossan, 16, 17. So something's gone astray there again, Davo, you think?
Well, clearly, J-Man. As we watch, here we go again into one. The boys at it.
Maverick!
Mav with the move.
Wow. Wow, we've got to get a second look at that because that doesn't happen often. Persistence there. Just had it up there.
Yeah, Lucas
yeah.
opening the door there. You can see him coming.
Just couldn't turn the car down. That red Nissan was already there. So well constructed, a lot of pressure. Did the right thing earlier, redressed that move that didn't quite stick off. Just saw Lucas Keys a little bit indecisive. He was probably still far enough up, but didn't want to turn down. Probably would have ended up in a rotation. So
yeah.
Look, we're going to find out what sort of pace Maverick's got now. He has got the fastest lap of the race with a 40.5. As we just see Ken Worcester just step aside and let those boys go. Gunther Rowe now putting a lot of pressure on Steve Crossan too. These two cars recovering. Can't see a great deal of damage, so maybe a little bit of a hip and shoulder and a bit of a spin. However, stewards look like they may have imposed a 10-second penalty on Steve Crossan, so maybe he was found guilty for that, whatever went on there.
Yeah, so plenty of action going on here, J-Man. This Dawson Webley Henderson Spence battle is heating up somewhat. And these guys going at it. A little bit of contact here and there. Elbows are out. Eyes are facing forward. And who is that ducking off into the pits? No, it's not a duck off into the pits. These guys are chasing slip here.
Yeah. Hey, look, and we're at an interesting time in the race too, Davo, and viewers, is that the track is classified as damp at the moment. We have got rain scheduled very shortly to start falling again, but the track is damp, so these wet tyres will be starting to heat up a little bit. Not running through a lot of static water, so pit stop strategies, who can hold their nerve and wait for the rain. Tell you what, Henderson does look strong at the moment, Davo, on Spence.
Doesn't he? Yep. So one to watch, like you said, changing track conditions, J-Man. You know, like, and that is, you know, that is worthy of dimension, isn't it?
Yeah, Maverick just gets that margin out to a second too, so he has definitely got pace in that car. Is he sprinting? Is it the hare and the tortoise? Is he looking to make bank on these tyres while the track's like this? Spend what he's got before the pit stop? Only time will tell us, Davo.
Is Lucas just holding back a little?
Oh, I've got a car warping. Sorry, that was Hendo. Stick with us, Hendo. You're in a great battle. I hate for ping or internet issues to rob you of this one, mate, because this is an absolute ding-donger. And now Webley got a good run off the final turn. All looking to fake back to that pit lane again.
And look at these four.
Bewley, Clark, that battle, we haven't talked much about it, but I can tell you now, I've been flashing back and forth to it. It's been going on the whole time that we've been watching this race. Bewley and Matty Clark just absolutely going at it for 8th and 9th.
I think they just snuck past. That might have been Worcester there in the Mustang. Literally just getting out of that as you just saw these four cars shoot past him like he was looking for a parking space. And good presence of mind from Worcester to get out of the road. But these guys just to really manage that situation, J-Man. And all sliding through here. Big train of cars here. These four guys very close. As you can see, a little bit less spray.
Yeah, I just wondered whether those cars that I thought you and I may be looking, they were faking towards the pit lane. Are they actually searching for water potentially?
They could be. They could be just trying to cool that tyre.
Bewley Clark is a very, very good battle. Bewley now with a good run. Heading up to the final chicane. He's going to be on the outside. This will be defendable for Matty Clark. but he is up there. And it'll compromise Clark's entry. Well, he does a good job of it.
Yeah, a bit of a wriggle from Bewley in the Porsche there. Just trying to counter that cover from Clark.
Look at these. Look at the Spence. Hendo super close. So is Webley and Dawson. All searching for a little bit of water now.
Down into
Hendo goes for the big fake. Spence covers.
Webley
tags.
From way back.
Hendo just missed the brake mark there. Now, who's that going to be vulnerable to? Clark and Bewley can't be far away. Here they go. Are they going to round up? They round up Hendo. So Hendo, the big loser. Expect the stewards to get involved with that. Webley up to P5, but potential penalty pending, I would think, after that. Nose to tail contact down to turn 1.
Oh, without a doubt, J-Man. Without a doubt.
So, Keys Maverick, that gap's just static at the moment, about 1.1, 1.2 seconds, so not much in it. Track position could be key, though. And who is that? Steve Crossland, all over the back of Lee Perkins now, and he's got Gunther Rowan toe as well. Remembering that Crossy, as you can see on your graphic there, he has got a 10-second penalty hanging over him.
Yep. Yeah, not a good start to this race for Steve Crossland in the 43 SIMBLACKS McLaren tonight. J-Man working hard for his money here at Zandvoort. Very wet Zandvoort. And like I said, these boys, it looks like they're faking off to the outside a little bit here. But, yeah, look, I really tend to agree there, J-Man. I think they're chasing a little bit of water, aren't they, outside here, just to keep those tyres cool. Expecting a bit of a break in the rain. The rain will come back. So it's all these guys are in management, damage control, aren't they, with tyre wise?
Yeah, I think they are. And looking at the lap pace though, I just picking up Matty Clark and Nathan Bewley at the moment, both sharing a couple of mid 41s there. So they haven't really slowed down that much. They were actually slightly quicker than Shane Fodado in P3. So. Maybe Fodado struggling for a little bit of grip at the moment with that thing. He has got a comfortable 3rd position locked in at the moment. So another good night for the guy that is running out of P3 in the championship at the moment. So he's doing a great job there, just managing that. But yeah, Dawson in a good position as well, knowing that possibly Webley could be under investigation at the moment if we speculate on that incident. So we'll watch that space closely and see what comes of that. Looks like maybe no further review. I'm sure we would have heard or seen something in respect to the Maverick Keys battle that Maverick readdressed earlier on before he made the pass cleanly. And he has got their margin out to 2 seconds now too. I'll just give you an update on that, Davo.
Yes, definitely. Those guys are pretty orderly in, maybe not in the delivery, but like in the result. Yeah, plenty of respect from both of the drivers. Mav redressing when required, where and when required. So, yeah, plenty going on. Spence trying to get out of the slip, or trying to break that slip from back to Webley and Dawson. Oh, yeah. Webley wide again wide. In the background. Looking vulnerable to Dawson. Pete doing a stellar job in the Bentley tonight, in the rain.
Yeah, now that Matty Clark, Nathan Bewley battle that I've been talking about throughout this race, there's some 5.5 seconds behind the Dawson-Webley battle, but Hendo, the recovering Hendo after that incident, is making his back. He's way back to them. He is under a second. He's 0.7 of a second away from clawing back into that battle. And the sort of pace that he's got, 41.1 last lap round for him versus a pair of 41.8s for Bewley and Clark. So he's definitely got pace. As we see Bewley now just trying to cycle up a move here. He goes outside, inside, down into the last of the right-handers. He's going to have the car up the inside. Can he accelerate off here? If Clark can stay here, he will have the inside line, which is the preferred line. And look at that, Hendo, opportunistic move. is going to grab, I believe.
Has he got it though, J-Man?
Look, he's on the wrong side heading up to the chicane, but I think he's got enough done. He has. Good set of corners there to make some opportunities happen, and I could see what Bewley was trying to do. However, probably didn't factor that big Bentley to jump in the party.
Probably not.
Oh, Webley super close to Spence here. Needs to be accurate on the brakes, down into one here. Gets it tucked in nice and tight this time, no problem there. So Hendo will go to work on Clark now. Thought that Bentley looked really good down the bottom of the hill, much the same as what Maverick's Nissan did. So he'll work away, try and get this thing set up nice and close as they come through the roller coaster, out of 4, up through 5, drop down. Look for the good apex through 6, flat chat, hard on the throttle. No lift down through here. Maybe a little lift off the throttle at the rise of the hill there. Get the car settled, dab of the brake, tuck the nose in. Try and get in behind Matty Clark here. Clark doing a good job through that sector of the racetrack too, Davo. He's probably pulled a little bit of margin, so the BMW looked pretty good there. Hendo won't be close enough this time around.
Yeah, both drivers working hard for that, J-Man. You can just see the body language of both Clarks and the wheel work there from Hendo. Really working hard for their lap times. A little bit of curb from both. And that run from the Bentley with Bewley. Ever chasing.
Yeah, look, he was just wanting this to happen in front of him, because I felt like Bewley had the pace to really put some pressure on and challenge Clark.
Oh,
and
look at this.
Potential here. He's got the overlap, but he's on the wrong side, and this is the high line. There's not as much camber out there for Hendo. Did a good job making it live out there, though. Didn't slow him down too much. Leave yourself vulnerable through there.
Yeah, tricky line, like you mentioned.
Margin at the front now, 3.5, 3.6 seconds, Maverick over Lucas Keys. So Lucas Keys, those tyres may be a little bit high on the pressure side of things, as we see Steve Crossland, second of the mainstays to make his pit stop. However, the only guy out there at the moment, because we have lost one, which would have been the Chris McConnell car. Oh, Crossy has to back the SIMBLACKS McLaren back up in the pit box, so overshoots the box, and that is going to create a less than ideal stationary time. Won't get a read. We'll be looking somewhere around that 32 seconds for an optimal stop. However, with a backup, the overall transition time will be a lot higher than probably what we'll see, by probably somewhere between 3 to 5 seconds, I would think.
Yeah, not ideal, J-Man.
And is Crossland taking his 10-second? Yes, he is. So he's going to sit there and take his 10-second penalty. That has already been cleared. Now Maverick with a 5-second penalty. So Maverick, obviously a lot of deliberation. That was potentially for that incident with Lucas Keys. Importantly too, he is 4 seconds ahead of Lucas, so that's going to be something to talk about for the rest of this race. And on the other thing, the drama keeps coming. Steve Crossland cops a 30-second penalty for his pit lane speed. I would think a stop go 30, probably turned up in the pit lane just a little bit too quick, hence the overshoot of the box. Easily done, because they do come into this pit lane with an immense amount of speed on. But
they do.
Look,
it is a quick entry.
Davo, 5 seconds for Maverick, with a 4.3 second margin at the moment. It's doable. However, Lucas Keys will be fully aware of that, and now he's got a target number. Got to stay inside 5 seconds to Maverick if he can. Now, I think Lucas, based on the race pace that he's got at the moment, 41.4 last lap round versus Mavericks 40.5. I think Lucas needs to get off those tyres. He's inside the pit window. He needs to get off them. We've got more rain coming. I would go with another set of wets, because you look how sideways that Datsun is. That thing is not happy on the current set of tyres.
Well, I think it's the only time I've seen him under pressure all season, J-Man. So, working hard for it. Who else is working hard? Matty Clark, Nathan Henderson, Bewley, in the Porsche.
Yeah, well, look, Matty Clark's
Dawson on Webley.
He was under huge pressure from Bewley. And who's that? That's Steve Crossan to serve that stop-go 30. Oh, the 10-second would have been bad enough, but to actually sit there for 30.
Oh, tag.
Who's that?
Dawson on Webley. Cars stay ported in the right direction, but...
Well, look, it still leaves, I guess, one of the other things up in the air. You know, that took a long time to see Mavericks 5-second come through, so maybe the team are still deliberating over the Webley incident. Don't want to promote the drama, but it's still lingering in the back of my mind what happened, because it was at the expense of a couple of guys. So Jonathan Warren now comes in to take his official pit stop as well. Looks like he arrested the speed of that car well and truly early. So a couple of stop-go 30s earlier the night, that probably pricks the ears up and the eyes of some of these other drivers to maybe make those things accurate. Now Hendo looking for an outside of Matty Clark's a long way around there. Gets good drive traction out of it though. He's going to range up on the outside of Matty Clark down to the final chicane. Not the right spot to be, but nonetheless still putting pressure on that BMW.
Absolutely. And that's what it's all about. Keep applying the pressure. The rain starts.
Yeah.
Again. This will change the dynamic, the grip level. These boys will be rethinking, or recalibrating. If nothing else, look at Hendo looking again. We see this lap after lap. They were side by side through 1, 2, and 3, and Hendo wide as.
And so was Matty Clark. Was there a touch there? But
no,
I'll tell you what.
No contact. No contact.
Bewley's the recipient there. And look, Hendo and Clark still side by side.
So these guys very equally paced.
Still a little bit more hip and shoulder.
There might have been a bit of bloody gizzing there going on. Flash of the headlights from Hendo.
Yeah, he wants to move forward, but Clark's up for the battle, I think, tonight. He's looks like he's feeling it.
Yeah, it definitely got his measure, J-Man, to be honest.
Yeah, gap at the front, 6.6 seconds. So Maverick on the better side of 1.6 seconds after that 5-second penalty. So you'd be looking to clear that during his pit stop. And
oh, for sure, for sure. Now, Hendo's just got to keep his head here, doesn't he? Just stay calm.
And he does. He's already been in this position once tonight. However, the roles were reversed. He was chasing down Bewley first and then Clark. Had a real hard time trying to dispatch Clark, actually. So it's going to be on again. He's had a couple of goes. Hasn't been able to get it done. He's been ever so close. However, a little bit of contact. And look who's ranging in the background. A recovering Nick Firth. Now, Firthy was the one that
I think he started in 5th.
Yeah, look, he got tangled early. That was that unfortunate incident down there with, I think it was Rowan to Crossan, was it? And then it was one of them into the back there.
Yes,
anyway, so.
yes.
Now, blue flags, who is that waving for? That will be for, trying to see there who that was.
Oh, Webley, super deep in the hairpin there, J-Man. We will pick up on a quick replay of that as we just see Dawson starting to put pressure on through 1, 2, 3, and Webley wide into the left-hand hairpin there. Dawson showing the nose of the Bentley. I don't think he's got much for the Mustang, but Mustang, well, clearly starting to fade. Grip level wise. changing weather conditions, J-Man. It is starting to ramp up a little bit.
Yeah, well, look, the blocks on the tyres will be a fair bit worn after all this relatively dry running, and now it's wet again. You don't get the same wet tyre back just because it starts raining, because they've obviously worn a lot, potential blisters or graining in those conditions, and you just don't get the same amount of grip back even though it starts raining and cools the tyre down, and it may get back down to the correct temperature and pressure with the minor right amount of rain. However, the grip won't be there. So I think an optimum time to get off and go and get a fresh set on, it looks like over the next half an hour, given that we've got 52 and a half minutes left of this race to go, I think go and get on a freshie and go and make some lap time, and that's exactly what Brandon Webley's about to do. So, look, was he sitting out there waiting for the stewards to deliberate and see whether he had any sort of impending penalty before he came in? I tell you what, if they're going to give him one, they want to give him one very, very shortly, because he's about to pull up on the blocks.
As we see also Nathan Henderson roll in to the pit lane, a J-Man. So a couple of worthy contenders there. Just maybe leaving it just right to the right moment there for those pit stops.
I think so. I personally think so. I think go and get on a fresh one now, and when this rain starts falling a lot harder in the next 10 minutes, you're going to be on a good tyre. Certainly be up to 10, and there could be 2 or 3 laps in there that you really make some good lap time. I mean, the potential for another second to second and a half a lap for 2 to 3 laps could be on here for these guys getting on that tyre, that fresh, wet tyre at the right time.
Yeah, and 2 or 3 seconds per lap in a race like this here, mate, that's notable, isn't it?
It is notable, for sure.
Oh, as we just actually picked up, I think we had cams on Warren and Thackeray. I think we might have had a bit of contact there.
Yeah, he's just recovering now, as Jonathan Warren.
So we just pick up on that. So unforced error from Warren, getting a bit of a tag from the back. I think it might have been Thackeray actually. It's giving a little bit of a touch up, J-Man. There into that right hander there, spinning the car, quickly recovering. We also see
Otto Clark in the lane.
Pit stops, J-Man.
Yep.
Otto Clark, like you mentioned.
Yeah, so Webley with a 35-second stop sees them stationary for 58 seconds of the lap, so pretty good stop there. Best stop that we've seen was Croston with a 31.53. However, he has been through the lane twice. Obviously, copped that stop go 30 for one of those transitions. So, be interesting to see how efficient Shane Fodder is. Be looking for around 32 for an optimum.
That'd be ideal, wouldn't it?
And he got it. He 100% got it.
Yeah, that's the one you want.
Yep. So, sees him do a 32.55. A very, very efficient stop for Shane. We'll see him really, without any mistakes, go and cement what'll be a good third position. It'll be a good podium tonight. Who did get a stop go? I just saw someone cop a stop go, and it was Matty Clark. That's going to pull him out of a battle with HENDO and Burley.
No.
It's the 1%er things, mate, that can change the course of a race, and that will be a hard one to come back from. He is end up going to be battling for 17th and 18th with Steve Croston after that, I believe. 11.5 seconds is the margin now. Maverick over Lucas Keys with a 5-second penalty hanging over the 3 car of Maverick. So no real issues there.
No real threat there. Spence, I think, in the lane as well. A J-Man.
Yep. So we'll get a read on Spence's stationary time, because he's in a very, very good top 5 fight here tonight, top 4 actually. So Spence having a real good run here tonight in the McLaren.
Got that in as well, a J-Man.
So a 32-second stop for Spence. Could be good for him here. He's really going to try and consolidate what could be a good 4th position, I think, tonight. still got 48.25 minutes to go, and he does do a 32. So we're looking for a 32.55 to get out of the lane. And he gets a 32.56. A little bit slower on the entry than Shane Fodderdo. The transition time, just 1 second the difference. However, he does
bloody
get out.
Close, J-Man.
Yeah, he does get out ahead, more importantly, of Webley. So that is what you'd see if the running stays the same. Fodderdo provisionally post pit stops third, Spence fourth, Webley fifth.
Perkins and Clark also in the pit lane at J-Man. So Clark's one to watch.
30, stop go 30 for Clark. So that's
okay,
the,
of course,
second transit. So what do we got? We got okay, just trying to get a read on Maverick's times at the moment. So out there last lap round 41.5. It's the lap time of Lucas Keys that's fallen away, 43.1 last lap round. So that car is really struggling in these conditions at the moment. I mean, Pete Dawson in provisional third at the moment, 42.8, 42.6 for Bewley. There's a number of guys, 42.1 for Ishikawa as well. So there's guys comfortably going quicker that last lap round. I wonder if Lucas Keys either had a mistake or he's just really struggling for pace here. I wouldn't think that he'd stay out there for too much longer. Just watching him go through the lap, he's having multiple bites on the steering wheel.
Oh, Hendo, sorry to interrupt, J-Man. Hendo and Webley, though.
Yeah, it's a good battle.
These guys come together. I just wonder whether Webley's got a tyre pressure issue or something. That car is not happy. Hendo, he passed easily.
Very easily.
The Mustang not happy.
Trying to get a read. 5-second penalty for car 33. So that is Perkins. So that'll be for the incident that you saw earlier with Jonathan Warren, I believe.
Oh, for sure, J-Man. Webley struggling, Hendo on the move. Hendo in 10th. There's still a few guys to pit still. Mav, Keys, Dawson, Bewley, Firth, Ichikawa and Rowe in front of Hendo. So just watch that space there.
It's back-to-back 43s for Lucas Keys. Just banked another 43 too. So that car got absolutely no pace and he's looking for a strategy here. And if he's not reading the weather app like we are, don't think it's going to come. Is he trying to stay out there long enough to see the weather clear up and go for a slick home? It doesn't look like it's going to come. Maverick's still out there banking 41.
Is he just waiting for Mav to pit?
Well, the margin's out to 15 seconds. So he may know something we don't, and it wouldn't surprise me. He's a pretty good operator. Seen him time and time again go out there and grab the big W.
But yeah, look, just losing that momentum though at the moment, isn't it, J-Man? Spence and Rowe.
Rowe in the lane.
Oh, Rowe in the lane, should I say? As well as Fackery.
So Matty Clark on Lee Perkins now. So Perkins with the 5-second hanging over him, and he's already made his stop. So what will that mean? It's probably with a transition time of still, if I can do some quick calculations, it's probably still a 30-something, 25, 30-something stop with that 5-second in there. So it's going to take him out of that battle. And Lucas Keys in the lane. Needed to get that done.
No surprise there's Dawson also rolls in, J-Man. But, yeah, look, we could see Keys literally just bleeding time, couldn't we?
Yep.
Over the last 10 minutes or 15 minutes or so. Little over 43 minutes yet to run in this race. Rainlight Racing's 2024 GT3 Series 7. It's round 8 at Zandvoort here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Very wet Zandvoort, mind you, as well. Proudly brought to you by the good people at Rainlight Racing. As always, SIMBLACKS on board, CROSSCUT Woodworks, Carpentry and Joinery, Crossy 43, HENDO 31, and True to Life Racing Designs involved as always. MATCHFIT Entertainment broadcasting to you live. Hit the like and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Fido on
Sorry,
the move.
Dave. Sorry,
Yes,
didn't mean to
you
interrupt
go.
you there. I
You
just
go.
was getting a little bit excited. Lucas Keys with a 37 stationary and a minute outright sees Fido close that gap massively.
Oh, you can see it on screen there, actually, J-Man.
So just bear in mind that look, if the track dries out and Keys runs into tyre trouble like he did that stint at the back end, Fido will come on strong because he is a lot closer now than he was at the start. So he's only 2 seconds behind Keys.
Yep.
So it'll be one to watch just to see what the pace. I'm sure Lucas with a fresh set of wets on will be good. However, Fido has turned up a lot closer, so it's not done. Maverick now in the pit lane. He has got a 5-second penalty to serve. He is doing that. Give you an idea of what that means outright to his total transit time. Leaves Nathan Bewley in the lead of this race, so well done to the 17 course of Nathan Bewley.
Absolutely. Galtero also in the pits, J-Man. Another key moment.
Okay, so that sees a 41 second stop for Maverick, inclusive of that 5 seconds. So 41.
He'll easily come out in front here.
Yep. Other than Firthy and Bewley unstopped. I think, did Firthy go through? Yeah, he did. Yeah. I believe so.
So, yeah, Mav with a big gap on Keys there. Still J-Man. Fido, like I said, in a good position, but still, look, obviously the Mustang not going to take it to Keys and Mav in the Datsuns here tonight at Zandvoort, but yeah, good position at the moment. Interesting to see where these pit stops pan out. Ichikawa and Dawson in the pits as well.
Yeah, so Bewley with a very, very good opening stint to this race, pushing that tyre really, really hard through past the halfway phase of this race, pulls the car up into pit lane now, comes in nice and hot. Can he arrest the speed? Oh, perilously close. It was very, very close. I hope he's on the back end of a 30 there, because that was very hot into the lane. Yeah, potentially appearing damage there, Craig. He was on the jacks for what deemed to be 37 seconds, so a good 5 seconds longer than an optimum stop, which we've seen Lucas make many accurate stops before. So good call out there from Elvis on potential damage there. So fitting, maybe that was warranted the 5 seconds then for Maverick. However, he has done enough out on track at the moment.
Oh, definitely. Bewley in the pits, J-Man.
Yeah, we'll get a read on his stationary. So perfect stop for Bewley, 32 seconds.
That's the number.
So that's going to keep him out in front, importantly, of Hendo, Webley, and no pressure from Clark, because as we mentioned, Clark had to make a stop, go 30. So it's more importantly, it's the Hendo-Webley battle that Nathan Bewley stays out in front of. That's a great showing for Bewley. That's a Pro-Am car up there trading very, very well. So it's a standout drive, I think, tonight for the 17 car so far.
Oh, definitely, J-Man, as I think is the Ichikawa Porsche as well. Both those guys are pretty new to the series and to Rainlight Racing, really doing an outstanding job, in which is not the nicest car to drive on a lot of these tracks. The Porsche doesn't get a lot of love. So, yeah, good work from both those guys. There is still one yet to pit, J-Man. Who is that man? Who would you expect?
None other than Nick Firth, mate, and he's just rounding up Goddard, which probably would have been getting blue flags there.
So,
not sure if Craig McConnell, if his ears are tuning into the broadcast, and whether he can shed any light on the speculation we had earlier on the on the Webley car. Doesn't look like there was any penalty come out of that, and whether he can shed a little bit of light on how those matters are handled, or whether that's something that we aren't up for discussion. But it was an interesting one, and Webley's pressed on, and he's doing a great job. P8 at the moment. So Maverick, that's settled down now. We saw that out to what did I say, Davo, 15 seconds, something like that?
Yep.
And that stabilised at about 9.7 to 10 seconds.
Yep, definitely. Nick Firth, the only unpitted car out on track. We have eyes on him at the moment. I would suspect we would see that car rolling into the pit lane either at the end of this lap or the next couple. So
Webley's about to answer your questions of what was wrong with that car, because he is back in the lane, Davo. So something not right.
Go.
Maybe he bolted on the set of practice tyres or something went wrong there. If we can grab a quick word, he'll be a bit frustrated, but
so
nonetheless.
The Webley Mustang back in the pit lane.
We'll grab a quick word, Davo. Sorry. Warts and all is the show at MATCHFIT Entertainment. Sorry, Webley. We'll grab you in the high moments. We'll grab you in the low moments as well. What's the problem, mate? Did you bolt on a set of tyres that was pre-used? Or?
No, I went on slicks by accident.
Oh,
I do see the graphic. Dry one. Unfortunate, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Head down. Bolt some wets on. Plenty of rain to come by the look of it, mate. So see what you can make of the back end of this one.
Thanks, Brandon. Nick Firth in the pits, J-Man, as we just have a quick chin wag with Brandon Webley there, so a little bit of a heads up there. Put the slicks on. Out, J-Man. Rookie mistake.
Cheers for the heads up there. So you can see that answer to my question. Viewers did ask the stewards about that incident, and it didn't get called. So obviously no one was unhappy about that. It was just probably hard racing, and everybody pressed on.
Very nice.
Cheers for the response, though, Craig.
Steve Crossland in the pits as well, J-Man, as we just see Nick Firth rolling out in the Firthy's fish finger Ferrari.
And so where's that going to see Firthy end up? Is he going to split Ichikawa and Hendo? So Isaac and Nathan...
I think so, yeah.
Righto. So that's a good recovery from Firthy after an early incident. He has just really ground his way back up inside the 10.
Yeah, so a little bit of a gap on Ichikawa. Not a hell of a lot, but I think Hendo actually with a pretty healthy gap in front of Firthy there, so...
41-2 last lap round for Maverick. Just caught up to Goddard. Just coming back past Crossland there. Lucas Keys with a 41-0. So a couple of tenths, the difference. Trading there, so still 9.5 seconds. So still a good arm wrestle. No mistakes required though from Maverick. He'll still need to be pretty accurate to bring this one home, as he does just round up out of turn 4. George.
It was Goddard there, I think, J-Man, yes.
Closer battles out on track. I mean, the fields are relatively spread at the moment. However, closer battles would probably be somewhere around about Dawson. Perkins got a 5-second hanging over him. 2 seconds is the margin, so he's comfortably going to grab the 10 in this race, and then he will have about another 4 odd seconds once he gets that done up the road to Clark, which he was privy to witnessing the back of that thing a little bit earlier in the race. So that'll be a fair bit of work, I think, to try and catch and dispatch Matty Clark.
Well, he's got Perkins to get through first, J-Man, in the Ferrari there. So Dawson got his work cut out for him. Perkins, like you mentioned, these guys sort of pretty evenly spaced, still working hard.
Yes, so I think this lap here, obviously looking for a few little things at the moment, obviously with the spread field, but that lap potentially Maverick just been bottled up behind George Goddard there, a little bit shy off the pace, probably by around about 8/10, so 41.8 plays a 40.9, so nearly a second difference there. You can see it on the totem there. If you look closely, 8.6 seconds the margin. It was around 9.5 prior to that, so Maverick will look for a bit of clear track, and he's got it at the moment all the way up to what would be the Pete Dawson car, would be the next car out on track, I believe. So really shows you that those guys now are starting to lap their way back through all the way up to P11, I think now.
Yeah, like in a pretty healthy end of the field, they're actually lapping to J-Man, you know, like these guys in, you know, the bottom half of the top 10, and like you mentioned, Dawson in 11th. These guys are no slouches, are they? You know, for these guys to come through and rock past these guys just shows the level of skill from the likes of Mav here and Lucas Keys out there in the Datsuns tonight, the R35s in the rain, and going hard, man. These guys are good.
Yeah, and it makes for a tough night too, because, you know, I'm going to pick on somebody like the 26 car Brandon Webley at the moment. We just spoke to him after he just hopped off that impromptu set of tyres back onto a wet. Now, he's got 19 odd seconds up the road to George Goddard. And you think, well, look, there's still half an hour of this race left to go. However, Webley, you know, on best trim might be running in somewhere like a mid to low 41 if he winds that thing back up again. However, Goddard is good for 42s. You just see last lap round 42.9. So you do the math at a minute 40 odd a lap. He's going to run out of time to even get up to 12th, let alone inside the top 10. As we see, Dawson must have dispatched Perkins. Now Perkins is recovering and the bonnet's slightly up, and that Ferrari is proper scratched up on the back as well. So bonnet's not too bad. I don't think there's a panel on it that doesn't need a respray.
So yeah, I think there was we just picked it up on the cameras actually. I think there might have been a little tiny bit of contact between Dawson and Perkins there through that little awkward, you know, that turn 2, 3, 4, easily done. And obviously now Perkins recovering.
Yep. And that would be Maverick. That would have been in the background as well. So
just sneaking on past. Now in between those two guys. Perkins. So look, these Mav, you know, like lapping 10, 11th there now, J-Man.
Yeah, look, and he's got that to deal with, and just remember the ever-presence of Lucas Keys. It's 8 seconds further back, and just slightly better each lap. There was another half a second or nearby it that last lap round. Laps are running down, like I mentioned, just under half an hour of this race left to go. But, you know, Keys is coming onto the front straight, and you can see Maverick braking into turn 1 now, so he's got a visual in certain parts of the racetrack.
Yep.
And you know, Maverick's having to deal with the blue flags and the lap cars first, and does that make the drivers more alert that if Maverick's coming through, that there's another driver not too far away, so they're a little bit more awake to it, and does it make an easier passage for the second car?
Absolutely.
Potentially.
Absolutely. Yeah, look, quite possibly, like you said, just prick the ears, and they are more aware, quite possibly, of these guys coming through. But yeah, look, lapping up into the top 10 now, super fast. Short field tonight, little under 20 to start the race. Zandvoort here, round 8. In Rainlight Racing's 2024 GT3 Series 7, proudly brought to you by SIMBLACKS, CROSSCUT Woodworks, Carpentry and Joinery, Crossy 43, HENDO 31, And True to Life Racing Designs, J-Man, trying conditions, and Spence on camera now, just nailing it through those triple right-handers there after the parabolica. Holding down 4th position, nice work from Spence, J-Man.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job out there at the moment. Now, that was more conducive of what we're normally seeing. So Maverick responding that last lap round. 41-1 was the previous one, just as a 41-2, but Lucas Keys was a 41 as well. And so Maverick with a 41-2, Keys with a 41-5. So that's just stabilised a little bit now that Maverick had a little bit of fresh air. And just looking to see, he will have the 54 car of Pete Dawson will be the next on track. We mentioned that earlier. So lapping all the way up to 10th, if he can get there. Dawson's last lap round was a 42.2, so a second a lap quicker. Won't be too long before he gets there. But Goddard, Perkins now. Perkins still got that 5 second hanging over him. He'll race that one right to the end because he has made his pit stop.
Yep.
So race 5 second penalty that gets issued to that car. So he'll just race what's in front of him at the moment. However, it will be
However, I think is that Lucas Keys coming up behind him there.
It is, and so Goddard
very
will be
rapidly.
the first one to step aside, you would think. We'll just see how this plays out, viewers. As Goddard gets out of it well and truly early, lifted the throttle on the exit of the corner and then gets straight on it again. And Keys catches Perkins in a lot more compromising position. You can just see there. Now, Perkins actually did a good job there. Step wide in the middle of the chicane, let Keys go. And the battle resumes with Goddard and Perkins. The Maverick crosses the line again for another 41-1. Did Keys get held up? What's the lap time? It's a 41-2, so nothing in it. You could argue that didn't cost him anything. Rain certainly falling, much like what we saw at the start of the race, Davo.
Yeah, looking pretty solid, isn't it, the rain? And given the boys are on the wet tyre, and like we talked about this as it started to dry out.
He rotates him, he just got up the inside.
Oh, no, just slightest of touches here. We'll just pick it up on the replay here. Got out a little wheel wide, coming back on the inside there. A lot of respect from the boys there. Addressed immediately.
Yeah, look,
by
these
Perkins.
guys do this week in, week out. They are good, mate, and they do show each other a lot of respect out there. So, albeit you might see a flash of the headlight here and there, these guys are good mates. It is a good community, and the league racing reflects it.
Yes, we do see the flash of the headlights every now and then.
Yeah. And look at that. Just like that, the battle resumes.
Yes, and these guys at it once again. A few little battle scars on both of those cars there. But, yeah, the battle resumes. J-Man, the track looks no drier. So the challenge was really in the middle of the race there when the rain actually slowed off a little bit. These guys all trying to stay out on that wet tyre. And ever heating and wearing wet tyre. And so now probably back in their comfort zone a little bit, aren't they? And enjoying these wet conditions here. Goddard, Perkins.
Yeah, it's on.
Drag race and a braking duel.
Can he pull it up?
One.
Yeah, I think he's going to be able to get that done. Beautiful move. Well set up. Hey, now you mentioned just a little bit earlier you were watching the J Blood McLaren of Tony Spence and the beautiful job he was doing chucking it in down the hill. Now I've just been watching that car of late and watching the lap times. Shane Fodado 42.9 last lap round. Tony Spence 41.9. There was a second of difference. He's got it around that 5 seconds. He is definitely seeing the 585 car at multiple sections of the race.
He can see it clearly now, can't he?
Yeah. So 23 and a half minutes left to go. There's still enough time for Spence to try and mount an attack for the podium, and I feel like he's got the car pace in these conditions. He has got Brandon Webley in between the two, so that'll be a car to contend with the blue flags. But look, he can see him on multiple occasions down the lap, and that'll really give him some incentive just to press on. Car does look good. He looks comfortable at this phase of the race. They've raced for a good 70 minutes or just under. Now they'll be well accustomed to what the car's going to do in certain places, under brakes and certain corners. They've seen these conditions before, they've felt it. And just looking at the way he's riding the curves through the chicane, he looks really, really good.
Okay, so Spence looks comfortable, doesn't he?
He does, and so it'll be going to be interesting to see what the lap times deliver over the next 2 to 3 laps, because this is crunch time now. You look at the distance there, you can see them on the straight. Fodado, Webley, and then Spence. So
remembering Webley's out of position, isn't he?
He is well down the pack. He is down in P13. So once again, favours
Fodado.
42.2, plays at 42.7.
So Webley will be very conscious as a front runner, generally a front runner driver, that the Spence car coming up behind him, he will get a blue flag for that, J-Man, and he will get out of that quick smart there. But Spence has got to chase down Webley in the first place before attempting that said moves.
Yeah,
Fodado in a good position there.
But it was only, a lap and a half, 2 laps ago that I called it was 5 seconds. It's now 3.9 to 4. So he is definitely improving on that margin every lap. And good pick up Warren Baker. Crossy is in the pits. He's been there for a while. So maybe decided to make a cup of tea and call it. The 17 car, Dave, I've rambled on a little bit about it tonight, but he does drive out of the Pro-Am stable, and himself and Ichikawa Isaac inside the 10 as well. So on a challenging night, which saw us start around the 19 or 20 cars, back down to effectively 15 runners, because we do have the 43 SIMBLACKS car stationary in the pits. Would call it that is a very, very good drive from certainly those two as well, to be inside the 10, and Bewley especially, P5. It looks like he's going to press on with that. He's got 6.3 seconds over Nathan Henderson, who has been on fire here tonight. There's been times the Hendo car has looked absolutely fantastic. Got engaged in some warfare and probably come out the wrong side of it a couple of times, but nonetheless, P6, he's been battling all night.
Definitely, J-Man. Yes, Bewley, both the Porsche drivers, Bewley and Ichikawa, both worthy of a mention. Like you said, Hendo in the wars a little bit of a biff and barge throughout so far, and Firthy. Just looking at that, Firthy in 7th provisionally at the moment, in amongst all those guys on a bit of a recovery drive, getting tackled up early, and just getting out there, running along, and getting it done. So nice work from Nick Firth.
Now Webley's done a great job too, mate. He I mentioned that there was, a big margin where he run out of laps to chase down anything towards the top 10. Well, he's only got 0.3 of a second to round up Perkins, and he's going to try and do that as we speak.
Oh, how close is this? Faraday in that mix, probably just trying to distance himself from these two guys at the moment. Perkins racing for position, not giving it up, J-Man.
No. No, and I don't think that crossed Fotado too much either, because looking at the margin, he's still hovering around that 4 seconds ahead of Spence. You see Spence in the background not making that bigger inroads on that distance, on that margin, as we've seen that 4 seconds being pretty static for the last 2 laps. He was coming pretty quickly at one point, but looks to have plateaued a little bit. So just see Webley looking for alternate lines here. Track is very, very wet out there now. Good drive traction for the Mustang off of that corner. Can he live around the outside into the chicane? Oh, a bit of contact there.
Perkins forcing the issue. This is for position. This guy's no mucking around.
Uh, 8 seconds the margin. Maverick over Lucas Keys. Other nearly 20 seconds back down the road is Shane Fotado, who we just saw on track just ahead of this replay battle here with Webley and Perkins. Good little exchange there.
Plenty going on, J-Man. Right down to the wire, as we would expect.
So that was Perkins stepping aside pretty quickly for Tony Spence. Starting to run down, heading towards the final quarter of an hour in a very wet round 8 here at Zandvoort.
Yeah, I think they noticed. It was a bit wet tonight, J-Man. I think they've been working pretty hard for it. Actually, some good quality stuff. We haven't seen too many major
Faux-pas?
yeah, into the wall sort of stuff. So that, you know, these guys really skilled at what they're doing all the way through the field too, mind you. So little bit of elbows up, out racing, should I say? But yeah, no big flicko slammo into the wall from anyone. So nice work from these guys, as usual, in trying conditions here tonight. Zandvoort in the rain, mind you.
So the Tony Spence battle there, you know, trying to make this margin back inside the next quarter of an hour on Shane Fotado, what is 4 to 4.5 seconds. And then the 17 car, he's in back a shot as well. So he's trying to catch back up to Perkins, and he's only 5 seconds behind Spence as well. So
is it doable?
Look, with a mistake, yeah, I think they're all trading relative times. Shane Fotado through 42.7 responds, first time in as many laps that he actually has been on the side of the green, over Tony Spence's 43.0, 42.3 for Bewley. So Bewley the quickest out of those 3 drivers I just mentioned. So interesting. What's he got left in the tank?
A measured drive, actually, from Fotado tonight. No heroics. We haven't really seen him getting tangled up in too much shenanigans, have we, J-Man? And positions showing. It's nice.
Yep, just trying to get a read. Shane Fotado, see how far he's lapped up to. So you have Matty Clark with the next car that he's got to try and get past, and Matty Clark is running in P9. So effectively, from the start of this race, if everyone was still here, yeah, he would have basically done half the field.
Yeah, so Clark, I think that might be Mav actually just starting to range on the back of Clark's car now. J-Man, as they come through the hairpin, yes it is. So they're up over the hill and down through this roller coaster.
Spence, 3.5 seconds, Davo. Is there a late sting in the tail for the 420 car and the 585?
Is there?
potentially. He's really ranging up on the back
Look, he is going quick. He is
of
going.
Webley now, who is a lap car in between them. But yeah, don't back out of it yet. We can see rain expected to be even heavier inside the next 10 minutes. There's still 13 and a half minutes left of this race to go. So there's plenty of rain out there already. So can't quite remember who stopped when. I know Nick Firth was a late stopper. He'll still have a good tyre underneath him running out of P7, but he's got a good 25 seconds to make up over HENDO. And HENDO 8.2 behind Burley. Burley 5.4 now behind Spence. I think Spence is well on the wick up. I think that is the common denominator.
I think he has too. Just a quick flash of the headlights there, just to remind Webley that he was on his way, and you can just still, like, we just get this camera actually to change a little bit, so I'll go a bit of a longer shot here. You can see the Fonado car just in front. There it is there. Drop it into the right-hander there.
Yeah, the times tell the tale too. 42.0 last time around for Spence versus Shane's 43.1. So that was the 1.1 second margin that we see him chopped out of it. We'll get a read on this now. Fonado across for a 42.9. Spence across for a 42.2. So still well and truly the better. So 2.5 seconds the margin as they approached into turn one. Now Webley now with
there's 12 minutes
penalty.
We've got 12 minutes to go here. There's plenty of time for Spence to get on this.
Yeah, absolutely. As Webley wags the tail, gets the blue flags already as they come down the roller coaster. 2.7 seconds the margin, and Webley with a 10-second time penalty hanging over him. What does that look like for Perkins? Perkins is 11.9, so he's going to be clear of that. At this point, it'll be post-race, so it's no more than the 10. You don't want to drive through plus 10. But that margin is shrinking. Bit of belief starting to creep in, I think, for maybe Tony Spence, that there's a podium on offer here. Yeah, we'll grab you down there, Craig, if you're cool. We'll grab one of our race stewards. A very important part of what is the race night is obviously the admin and everything that gets to make this show happen, but more importantly as well, to keep everything all fair and love and war is our race stewards, and we have one of them with us at the moment. Craig, you got us on comms live, mate? I see your mic muted. Maybe you can have a quick chat with us.
I do, yep.
Yeah, hey mate,
just
give us a bit of an insight to what goes on in the night, and obviously I was a little bit of verbal chat heading towards your way and you responded via text, but give us an insight maybe to something like we've just seen come up. Brandon Webley's just copped a 10-second penalty. You want to give us an insight and the viewers to how that works?
Yeah, so the way that one works is I missed it. I heard it on your stream, but no one called it out. So we leave it up to the drivers. If they're involved in an incident, it's up to them to call it if they deem it worthy of being looked at. So in that instance, it was HENDO and Webley. So I was reviewing another incident. So I was looking at the incident between Mav and Lucas, because that was on lap 9.
And that was called?
And that was called through our Discord comms, and so I've got my head down. I'm looking over the replays and stuff like that. But the HENDO and Webley incident, it was typed in the text chat. So I don't know if you can bring it up on your screen, but you'll see he's just put his number there.
Right.
And Crosby actually brought it up to me in his stream. He's like, "Oh, did you get the one between Webley and HENDO?" I was like, no, I didn't even hear it. And because I'm looking at replays, I don't see what's going on in the text chat. So, but then the way that I look at the incidents is, so the Webley and Maverick one, I sit there and I review it, and I go on the previous laps as well. So I check out all their braking points and everything like that, and sort of have a look at it and see if the driver in front's been consistent, or whether he's brake checked them or done something like that. So.
Yep. And so the warrant around 5 seconds for Maverick, that was due to a redress, was it, on track?
Well, we have our own set of what we deem I'll grab it for you quickly. It's in our season 7 chat, and I've got it.
You just
Right
while you're
here.
looking for that, I'll just give the viewers just hang in there, Craig. I'll give the viewers an update, and I'm sure Davo's tuned into it too. Shane Firth currently been held up by what would be a back marker with blue flags, Brandon Webley, and I tell you what, that is buying well into this battle that we've been commentating on with what is Tony Spence now, 1.4 seconds the margin, and he is coming on strong at the back end of this. So we'll just cut back to Craig and just give us an insight to that detail that he's just bringing up.
So we have our rules, and if an incident causes a position loss, well then it's a time penalty. We also have to try and factor in damage. So if someone gets serious damage to their car or whatever, if it's a little shunt and there's something like a redress, like what happened between Mav and Keys, then we'll probably put that down to a racing incident. But it was a significant enough hit that it caused damage. Well, I believe it caused damage.
Yeah, we probably saw that in the pit lane. Yep.
Yeah, and so for me, it warranted the penalty. And so it is kind of just a case-by-case basis. And as the attacking driver, it's your responsibility to make the pass clean. And like, we want to encourage good racing.
Yeah, well, you're certainly getting it. You're certainly getting it. Look, we'll cut away, Craig, I think, because we've got battles starting to form, mate, and your eyes might have to be fixated as hard as ours on to see how this one plays out at the back end, buddy. But hey, look,
hopefully not, but yeah.
Ourselves, and I'm pretty sure the drivers and everybody watching do really appreciate the time and energy that you guys take off the track to put in to make sure things are all run fair and well, mate. So we really appreciate you, Craig. Thank you and your team.
Yeah, no worries.
Cheers, mate.
Still.
Craig McConnell, everyone. J-Man, the battle ensuring Tony Spence and Shane Firth. How many minutes have we got to go? A little under 6.5. And this is not going to go away. Spence, he's looked hot for the last 10 minutes, and it's really starting to show here. They dispatched Webley there in the process.
I don't want to undersell Firth by any means, because we know he's an astute racer. However, that lap behind Webley there was quite significant in what will shape up to be the final 4 laps to this race based on Maverick's position. He is just started a lap, so yeah. But Spence well in the hunt now, and look, we already see through the final 20 minutes that car has had the upper hand to the tune of, I guess, a half a second a lap in clear space per lap, I think, and then obviously there's been a second to 1.1 seconds given traffic that's played into it as well. So look, the battle's on. We're going to see how it shapes up over the next 5 and just under 5.5 minutes, Davo, and 1 second the margin.
1 second. You don't even need the timing at the moment. You can see it visually there. These guys extremely close. Winding down here. 90 minutes of pouring rain here at Zandvoort here tonight for Rainlight Racing's 2024 GT3 Series 7 Round 8. As Firth holds off Spence right down to the wire here. Under 5 minutes to go.
Oh, Spence a little loose coming through the right hand down the hill. He was just a little bit loose, a little bit missed the apex there to the next right by about a half a car length. Pushing hard. Really different lines coming into this next one. Shane looked like he had the optimal line through there, made a little bit of margin. So strengths and weaknesses, maybe I think Spence's car looked good through turn 1 up to turn 4, and then out of 4 all the way down to around about turn 8. It favours the Mustang. Got some good flow on it.
It does. Look, and you just see it, particularly in some of these camera shots here. The Mustang really likes to work off the back of the car here. You can see Shane picking up the throttle early, getting a little bit of sideways and really drifting that car into a position where he can get that straight run out of it, get the drive.
The final corner for Shane.
And again, wriggly as hell. Fronado deals with it. Spence. The McLaren's. McLaren's all about turning. Fronado all about exit speed.
I thought he'd missed the brake mark. He closed
Hey, so quick. Oh, 4 car lengths, J-Man. Easily.
And so this is the point here. This is the point last lap round that we saw the Mustang just stretch away a little bit. Looked a little bit happier coming up over this roller coaster. We'll see if Spence can stay with him this time.
Yeah,
Spence
watch
Spence loose through the right-handers.
What's the entry on Spencer's car here? Fronado taking it tenderly.
Yeah, stretches it out a little bit though. We
saw how close
they were through 1-2.
Here we go. Just watch the Mustangs, particularly out of this little tight bit of the right-hander here. Gets it really tight, turned tight, and just works the throttle. See it wriggle around, and again here. Gets it turned in tight, really works the throttle, works the oversteer.
Yeah, definitely favours the Mustang through that phase of the track. I feel like Spence's option though is definitely a look down it to 1-2 somewhere, even if Shane's wide of the mark at 4.
Yeah.
However, he have a hell of a job trying to hold him back down the bottom of the hill after those sequence of right-handers, because that Mustang does look fantastic down here. But look at the margin here as they come out of this final turn. Look, he's probably got 5 or 6 car lengths. And you watch the distance when they come in and out of turn 1. Spence will be right there.
And Fronado getting a very clean exit that time. Really focused to get that Mustang sorted out. Guns deep.
Yeah. Back to the strong suit of the McLaren. Really, really close. And he'll be close all the way up through here. 2, 3, 4. We'll stay right with him. Car looks really, really good through that right-hander.
McLaren definitely tidy through this first sector. Just round up.
Jonathan Warren there. Once again, this is the option for Shane here, just to really just do what he does through the sector of the racetrack. The car looks so settled.
Entry speed again from the McLaren. Spence putting pressure on. But here, just watch this.
Not closer this time through this phase of the track.
Can he hook up with the Mustang here?
Yeah, and look, they'll only get this one and this next one to do, because Maverick has started the final lap some 9 seconds ahead of Lucas Speeds. Here we go. Spence closer this lap. Davo picks up a fair bit of curb there.
Yeah, that'll affect his run out of there, out of the left-hander. Not a hell of a lot, but it's these micro sectors, J-Man.
Look at the background.
Look at that.
That's Nathan Burley and Nathan Henderson, both just in the background.
It is too. You can see the Porsche and the big Bentley in the background. Fronado. Spence, Fronado deep again. Is he got to cover this overlap?
Yeah, McConnell called it. He'd have a look down the inside. He certainly did. Look, the more these guys battle, the more that it gives a chance for Bewley and Hendo to have a look. It is the final lap. Maverick is on his way home. He's only got the chicane and then the final 2 corners to negotiate. Oh, intense stuff after 90 minutes of racing, and it comes down to what is 0.4 of a second for a podium.
It's going to go down to the wire here, J-Man. Hard to take your eyes off.
Yeah, stick with it. I'll just call Maverick across the line as you stick with that battle.
Oh, it's Spence just showing the nose a little bit into that.
Well done. Maverick, car 3, takes the win.
Nice work from Antoon there.
Lucas Keys takes the 2nd position, and then we get back to this battle. Spence hard on the gas, wriggling out of that left-hander as they head down towards the chicane. He's only going to have the chicane and one more option. Look how close Bewley is.
Oh, Bewley, you can see the headlights ablaze.
Look, it's not done. They've still got to negotiate the final 2 corners. You just drop a wheel out in the kitty litter on the left-hand side of these final 2 corners. That could be the difference. They're pushing hard. Both on the ragged edge. Bewley drops a wheel out there.
Oh, yeah, drops immediately. A few car lengths off the back of that. A Spence chases Shane Frontado across the line.
Position.
3rd and 4th, respectively, from those boys. Nice work, Bewley.
And look, we lost Hendo off the back of that battle late in the piece there too. He wasn't that far off, I didn't think, off of Bewley, but we lost him off the back. He's just come across for 5th, so great driving.
Nick Firth.
It would be 6, sorry, because Lucas is left.
Lucas is left. Yep, Firthy, Clark, Ichikawa, Dawson, Goddard, and Webley running at the top 10, J-Man.
Yeah, fantastic. Fantastic race. Full of action right to the back end there. Some really standout drives there tonight. First and foremost, Maverick really stepping up in the DATs and taking it to Lucas Keys, which not many have done this season. If you look at the stats, he's been quite victorious, but it was Maverick's night tonight. I don't think he was going to be denied of that one. Looked very, very dominant. Got the pass done. Did it with a 5 penalty too. So well done to Mav over Lucas, over Shane Frontado for the podium. And I think that will probably cue our first interview, Davo.
Yes,
it
we
does.
Do
See a
it
few
does.
of the guys coming through, Ken Worcester coming through. Crossy will round out the final of the runners. But we will grab Shane Frontado down. And massive pressure at the back end of that race there, Shane Frontado. You got us on comms?
Hey, guys.
Whew, mate, amazing first sector. You really closed the margin on Lucas Keys post pit stops, mate. You would have seen that he wasn't that far up the road. I think 1.8 to 2 seconds up the road after the pit stop. So you did a fantastic job in the opening stanza, and then consolidated that. But big battle on your hands at the end, Shana.
Yeah, I was going to end up in that same battle mid-race because Tony was catching me pretty quick. My tyres were done. They were too hot because it dried out a bit. Pitted, and then it was quick again. And then at the end, my pressures were too low, so couldn't win.
Okay. Well, look, it was a fantastic race, mate. We just picked up on the strengths of each car on the back end of that battle that was shaping up. And man, the saving grace for you was how solid that Mustang was with the drive traction out of turn 4 and then all the way down over the roller coaster down to that final right-hander. The car looks super, super solid. McLaren typically good into turn 1, good at the sharp stuff under brakes, but man, you had that thing flowing beautifully at the back end.
Yeah, it was real comfortable. It was a nice setup. It was actually just my dry setup. Just chuck some wets on it. But yeah, it was nice to drive. It was good. Happy with that.
Yeah, good stuff, Shana. Well
Nice
done.
work.
Currently sitting P3 in the championship, and that would have, I guess, bolstered the stocks to stay there as well at the moment. Still got a couple of rounds to go, Shana. So looking good for a podium here in this series here at Rainlight Racing.
Cheers, guys. Yep, awesome.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, buddy.
Shane Frontado, ladies and gentlemen.
Cometh the man, cometh the minute. We'll grab Maverick down here for a yak.
Yes.
There'll be a few quiet fist pumps after that one, I would think. Mav, absolute masterclass tonight, mate. Really got a handle on that Nissan tonight in the wet. Traded some very, very good times with Lucas Keys in the early part of the night and qualifying, but however, race pace just too good, mate.
Yeah, the race setup, which I just made it up before the race started, seemed to work quite well. So yeah, I was happy with it.
Yeah, and talk to us a little bit about the mid-phase of the race. That mid-phase, Mav, I'm going to pick on, obviously, the top two, yourself and Lucas, and we saw it was a point where the track dried up significantly based on the start of that race. Tyre pressures would have been going through the roof, temps would have been high. However, you still managed to just keep banking those 41s when we saw Lucas fall out to about low 143s at times, and that. Just talk to us about where the car and the tyre was at that phase of the race, because I think that was critical to the victory tonight as well.
Well, I think the trick was not to look at the tyre temps, because I could see them in my core of my eye and they were all red. So I just ignored them and kept driving.
Drive it.
I think the tyres kind of turned into somewhat like intermediates or slicks, so it wasn't too bad for grip. It was just overheating, but I didn't care. I thought, I'm going to come in a minute and throw him away anyway. So,
Yep.
I wasn't sure what Lucas's story was. I think in the first phase he was a bit slower. Second phase he was a bit quicker. Maybe he, I don't know, had a full tank or something, but we'll never know.
We will never know because he doesn't turn up for a driver interview. So
I think we've got to all chip in and get him a mic.
Yeah. Hey, look, nonetheless, it was a fantastic race, and I think there was a couple of integral moments, and it was interesting. There's a lot of deliberation, obviously, from the steward's box with certain things. We did see you do a redress on track, and then we did see you cop a 5 second. However, even at that point there, I think we looked out and we were like, look, he's 6.5 in front and building. And then, like I mentioned, it was that mid phase, I think, which was critical. There was a point of that race where I think we looked at a number of drivers that decided to go for the option tyre back on the wet at that time when the rain was about to start falling again in 10 minutes. And I think that was critical. And I think you guys play it very, very well, the way you read it on the night, on the fly. Very impressed the fact that you actually went out there and just felt the car rather than looking at the numbers and probably got suckered into making some sort of other strategy, Mavs. So it's awesome to see you back on the top. We were just mentioning stats wise, there's been none to take it to Lucas this season. But when he's out there on the form, so it was great to see a great battle, and a lot of respect out there, mate, and well done to you.
Yeah, thanks, fellas. Appreciate it. Cheers.
Awesome, mate.
Awesome.
Cheers.
See
That
you
is Maverick out of first position here tonight. Fantastically. Now there is a guy that I wanted to talk to.
Yes.
If I can find him. Okay, there's a
Sneak
couple.
him down here. Is there a couple?
Yeah. So I'm not sure if this is the right guy. Just have a look. Hopefully it is. We'll grab this guy down. And Nate, you on comms, mate? Can you give us a bit of a couple of minutes of your time if you can just flick the mic on and have a quick chat if you're around? Maybe.
Hello?
Yeah, is that Mr. Bewley?
Hello?
G'day, is that Nate?
Yeah, that's me. That's Nate.
G'day, mate. Hey, welcome. You're live on the comms box, mate. And look, worthy of a quick pump up your tyres, mate, because racing out of the Pro-Am class, what a fantastic drive tonight up there and really hounding for what could have been a position late in the piece, mate. That's a standout drive. You've got to be pumped with that one.
Yeah, it was a very good race. I had a bit of contact at the chicane very early on, and Woodcourt had a little bit of damage, but other than that, yeah, the car just seemed to kept on getting better and better as the stint went on, and I felt like at the end of stints, I was just catching people.
Yeah, we thought we picked up on a couple of things tonight, mate, and like straight away we saw those Porsches, both the Porsches out there tonight. I think yourself and Isaac doing a good job. I think those conditions potentially at the hands of you two look very, very good in that Pro-Am class to really hook a lap in, and you got a couple of good laps in nice and early. And then I think the other thing we picked up on as well was the timing of the tyre change was very, very accurate. From I think there was probably 3 or 4 of you in the field tonight that opted for your mandatory pit stop right at that phase where we were going to see the rain start falling again. So you managed that tyre through the dry phase and then bolted it on. I thought that was a good call from you guys.
Yeah, it was because Woodcourt during the first stint it started to drive a bit, and the tyres were absolutely roasting, and I was thinking, rain some more, and I could see that it was going to get a bit heavier, and I was like, oh, if I just stay out, maybe I can play this for a bit of an advantage, and yeah, it just seemed to work.
So what goes through your head, Nate, at the back end of that race when you got 2 laps to go and you really start closing down on the back of Bodo and Spence, mate? And then especially with the lap to or half a lap to go, you're right in it, mate. And then obviously dropped. I think it was HENDO might have fallen off the back a little bit. So you were just the guy applying the pressure that with the eyes like dinner plates at that point, mate, or what?
Yeah, they were, and I was seeing that I only had a couple of laps left, and I had some extra fuel, so I changed it from the race fuel to the qualifying mode, and I was like, well, I'll give it as much as I can in Woodcourt, get as close as I can, and if they have a collision, make a mistake or so, you know, I might be able to get through. But yeah, it was enjoyable to watch. Right, you
Yeah,
know,
well,
it's good to have a front row seat of stuff.
well,
Yep.
that's really cool to hear. It's the stuff that we don't get to see and hear. Obviously, we are privy to that information on your dash. I didn't see you change the ECU map to a little bit more fuel in. So well played, mate. And look, worthy of a quick chat, mate. Yeah, very impressed with the drive. I think that's a standout one. Obviously, new to us, your name and to the series, and yeah, really got some attention tonight, mate, because that was an outstanding drive. So well done.
Oh, thank you guys. Yeah, and thanks for the stream and all that. You know, you guys do a killer job. So yeah.
I appreciate it, mate. Thank you very much, man, and
problem.
enjoy that one. Good luck trying to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, that
Okay.
is Nate Bewley. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Nate.
Yeah, so a top 5 drive is a really
Oh,
really great result.
totally, mate. And yeah, in trying conditions, and yeah, some ups and downs. And like Nate was just saying, you know, like that timing on those tyres was critical, wasn't it? You picked it.
Yeah.
And yeah, the guys that left it that little bit longer and waited for the rain to come back before hitting the fresh set of wets was perfect. J-Man, great race again tonight here at Zandvoort,
Yeah,
my
fantastic.
friend. Thanks
Yeah,
for...
cheers. Cheers to the viewers. Cheers to yourself, Davo. I'll
Yep.
let you wrap the show up, and I'll just quietly slip on out.
You just moonwalk back into the bushes like Homer Simpson. There, J-Man. And look, yes, thank you, viewers, again for joining us here for Rainlight Racing's 2024 GT3 series. That was round 8, and it was in the pissing rain at Zandvoort. Awesome stuff. Good to see. We got to thank SIMBLACKS. We got to thank CROSSCUT Woodworks, Carpentry and Joinery, Crossy 43, HENDO, True to Life Racing Designs. All the relevant links and website addresses are in the description. Get over to Rainlight Racing. Their Discord link is in the description as well. Get over there. Get amongst it. If you missed out on this series, 2025, plenty going on. So get over there, get hooked up, guys. That's a wrap for tonight. Thanks, J-Man, and thanks, Rainlight Racing. We will see you all next week. Laguna Seca, 60 minutes. It's going to be awesome.